All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yakakodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone who taught us this truth, okay, and who rule well and teach the correct doctrines of the scriptures, okay. And I want to give a sincere Shalom to the elect out there teaching His truth and all honesty and sincerity in these last days, okay. Now, I got a couple things pulled up here because we're going to get into inflation. Now, it was announced the other day that inflation faced a 40-year high. They said that it was 8.5% in the month of March. Now, one thing you have to think about, okay, because we always got to put them spiritual advisors on. Up the way that they go about calculating several times since that 40-year high was previously hit. Okay, so it's actually much higher than what they're reporting. Okay, because they base it off of CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. Okay, the add that's been to the grocery store, I'll tell you, over 1 year, it's not happening. It's much higher. Okay, you have certain commodities that are increasing that are almost doubling in price. So where does this 8.5% come in? Okay, if the average American has to spend another $3,000 this year to make ends meet, that's over 8.5% of most people's income, man. Okay, but this is showing that the value of your money and the confidence in these Western. Okay, now is it gonna just drop overnight? Probably not. Okay, the Federal Reserve is implementing measures to fight it. Okay, but they're not going to be able to fight it. The only thing that they're going to be able to do is control it and keep it at an elevated level that they can find to be sustainable. Okay, because that's pretty much what the plan is. They know they can't stop it. They knew that this is going to happen for decades. Okay, and all this happened at the same day that there was major breakthroughs in the Ripple and SEC lawsuit, which a lot of people in the know have said that the switch is happening. Okay, they're moving away from this dollar system and they're moving towards something else. And supposedly that once this lawsuit is over with the SEC, that we're going to see the new reserve currency start to make its way. Okay. And then all these systems that they're setting up, right, with the U.S. digital dollar, it's all compatible with this ISO 20022 standard. Okay. All these standards, all these nations are building digital currencies and different digital currency bridges, and they're all based off the same standards. So what are the chances of that if this isn't all planned? Okay, and it is planned. Okay, you see in the West lose its dominance. Okay, the West is losing its dominance, and its money is losing the dominance. Okay, and a lot of this has to do with the world just coming against America right now, man. You know, they see that it's out. I mean, just look at the leader they have. It's almost like this dude is trying to act like he has dementia. They're trying to hide it or something. Okay. Now, but that's the case, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring down one nation. Okay, bring down one nation and then bring in another one. Slovakia. Well, if you're uh, paying attention spiritually, man, you would see that the Lord is getting ready to make a massive change. Okay, like the scriptures say, the saints shall take the kingdom. Well, this kingdom's got to be brought down before the saints can take it. This is Psalm 75 and 5. Lift up not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. Okay, and that's what America does. Okay, they're lifting their horn up on high. Okay, whatever they set up as the standard, the rest of the world has to follow, or they get together with their cronies. Okay, with their cronies, and they try and block those nations out, like what they're doing with the BRICS nations right now, primarily Russia. Okay, and that's going to lead to America's demise. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Okay, and he's about to bring this place down, man. And see, the Lord knows all, man. He knows that America, one of America's main strengths is its dollar being used as the world's reserve currency. Once that goes away, man, the American empire is finished. Okay, this nation might be over as a whole after that, man. You know, because what it's gonna do is, once the dollar is decoupled from being the chief world reserve currency, okay, it's going to cause a lot of shit here in America, man. There's gonna be riots. There's gonna be shortages like you couldn't even imagine, man. Okay, because basically what's gonna happen is the world's is coming together right now, and they're saying, you know what, we're tired of this shit. Okay, we're tired of America pushing us around. We're tired of them telling us how to run our countries and who to trade with, who to have alliances with, so on and so forth. Okay? Even the elites are getting sick of this place, man. It had its day, and now it's on to move to something else. Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, and we're getting close to those bounds, man. We're getting close to the limits that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai set up for this place to go. Okay, both in limits of wickedness as well as its hegemonic power, man. All right, because you have the east versus the west right now, and it's going to cause a war, okay? All this stuff going on with Russia and that, it's going to cause a war. But all this is being done by careful design, okay, with the inflation and all that. They knew when they printed all that money that this is going to happen. They knew that when nations started challenging America's dominance in the financial world, that this was going to happen. Okay? If we could say it, they know, because they're on the inside, man. Okay? And this inflation, it's you know, they say that the peak of it is over with, but it's still going to be here, man. It's still going to be here, okay? And the fact that they have to jack rates up so fast, okay, just shows how serious it is. Now keep in mind, when reserve banks jack interest rates up, okay, what that does is that puts a needle in the bubbles that's going on with this economy. Okay, so they're gonna have to bring down the economy to stop the inflation. Okay, that's what they're going to have to do. And the U.S. just suffered a collapse a couple years ago during the lockdowns. And then they suffered a collapse in a damn near a financial collapse back in 2008. So that's going to be three major recessions done in less than 15 years, man. That goes beyond the realms of the business cycle. That's a sign that this fucking place is over with, man. Okay? This is Haggai 1 and 5. Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Now the Most High is speaking to the children of Israel, first and foremost, when he says this. But, I mean, it applies to America, really, when you think about it spiritually, man. The Lord is telling us to consider our ways. You got a lot of these Babylonians that live way beyond their means, man. Well, it's cost you your empire, okay? Those 500 billion, 800 billion, $1 trillion deficits, okay? All the deliciousness that you've lived in and excess that you've lived in, okay, is going to come back to haunt you. And it's starting with this inflation, okay? And it's only going to increase as the world moves. It's not just about inflation, but the world is moving away from America, okay? Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. And that's the status of a lot of Americans right now because of this inflation, okay, and the lack of wages going up. And it's only going to continue, man. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay? So if you're getting a 3% pay raise every year, and inflation is between 8 to 10%, guess what? You're losing money. Your pockets are bleeding out. System moving more towards a digital economy, man. You know, and these elites, they're getting ready to introduce that MOTB, man. They're already talking about at these summits, these economic summits, about upgrading humans. Okay, upgrading humans, transhumanism. Which I don't want to say that word too much because they'll probably flag the video. But yet they could put it out there all they want, and you're presenting misinformation if you cover it. Okay. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Okay? A lot of America's top allies are starting to drift away. Okay? All these Edomite nations, man. Even the Edomite nations that are in the house of Esau, even they're starting to drift away. Okay? And the scriptures say that if Satan's house be divided against itself, it shall not stand. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Okay? And you could see America's allies are getting ready to deceive it, man. You could totally see it. Okay? They're just playing along from now. Heck, it happened to a lot of Rome's allies, man. They turned on Rome. Well, I mean, Rome, honestly, though, Rome was doing the shit that America is doing. Okay, always going back on their word, always trying to shut out other nations from the economy and sanctions and all that. Rome was doing similar shit back in the day. And guess what happened? right? The so-called barbarian tribes, which a lot of them weren't even really barbarians. Okay, that was just a word that was put on them. Basically, anybody who didn't agree with the Roman way of life was a fucking barbarian. Just like you see today. Just like you see today, okay? If you don't agree with the agenda, okay, you're considered a savage, or what do they call you now? They call you a bigot or a homophobe or whatever. Okay, they put them terms on you, just like the Romans did. Okay, if you didn't agree to their way of life, all right. But well, hey, that was what brought it down, though. Okay, that was what brought it down, though. Okay, because if you gotta worry about your friends stabbing you in the back constantly, then that's not good. Okay, it's not a good look. And prevailed against thee, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, meaning that what America can't see it. They can't see that wound that's about to come, man. See, America doesn't understand. You Americans, you're so short sighted, man. You Babylonians, you're so short fucking sighted, man. A lot of these nations in the BRICS nations have had ties to each other for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Longer than this country has been around. So you think that they're just gonna turn on them because you say? Everybody could see that your country's decaying, man. Any one of them rich politicians or billionaires or whatever from around the world can come here and see that your infrastructure is total shit and that there's no future, man. Because if a nation's economy collapses, it can recover. Okay? It can recover and become a somewhat great nation again. Okay? If they have the support to do it, like a good infrastructure. See, America's infrastructure is so screwed, man. When this dollar collapses, there's no coming back. And that's when the rest of the world is going to kill this place off, man. Okay, they don't need you in their new world order, man. They're sick of you Americans. Okay? Now I got another some more information. Now what's going on is a lot of people will point to the dollar index to show that the dollar is actually gaining strength. Okay, and that we're overblowing this whole inflation thing. That's not necessarily true. Okay, it's not necessarily true because the DXY index or the dollar index is basically the dollar tied to a bunch of different fiat currencies. Because in times of turmoil, okay, the dollar is often seen as a safe haven. Okay? So when there's all kinds of shit going on in the world or a crisis, what happens is the dollar starts to gain value because people run to it. Okay? Now, all it's going to take is for them to say, you know what, we're not going to run to the dollar this time. We're going to run to something else, whether it's gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, whatever. Okay? When they start running into different avenues, that's when the dollar is completely finished, man. But as you can see here, the dollar is looking pretty strong. Okay, this is a 3-year chart. The dollar is looking pretty strong over the last few months, especially. Okay, because the world ran to it. Okay, the world ran to it. But one thing to note is that when you take this index number, which is tied to a bunch of different currencies, right? And you compare that to the inflation, what does that show? It shows that fiat currencies in general are losing value. They're losing strength. People don't have the faith in these instruments anymore. Okay? Because it's really not backed by anything. Okay, so if the dollar index is going up, but there's rampant inflation here in America, and the purchasing power of the dollar is actually going down, what does that mean? That means that the whole world is dealing with the inflation, and it means that fiat currencies are failing. They're starting to die out. Okay? Which is going to trigger what? A response to move to another system. Let's get that in Revelation. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, right? Moving towards a new financial system. Okay? If you're living in one of these Western nations, you're in a lot of fucking debt, man. Esau owns your ass, and and when he goes to implement this chip, he's gonna show it. He's gonna be like, well, hey, you're in a lot of debt right now, and if you don't want to take this chip, we don't have to feed you. Okay, we don't have to give you a roof over your head. We don't have to. Listen, if you don't want to be our debt slave and take this chip, because that's really what the mark is. Okay, that charagma, man. It's a stamp or an incision. It's a stamp of ownership, man. Okay, we're all debt slaves right now. If you want to be a part of that new system and get rid of that debt and be a part of the new world, then you're going to have to take that charagma and you're going to have to come up under Esau's stamp. Or Esau's banner, man. Save he then that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, and with that, till next time, I hope you brothers were edified and informed. All right, shalom.